Okay, now we're gonna do one of my favorite poses that exposes weak links in the body like no other. It's back dome. Back dome, in my eyes, is one of the best single longevity poses that a person can do, because if you have ability to do a full back dome, legs and arms straight with a healthy spine like this, you generally have that openness and health to the whole body. And so I feel that back dome is probably one of the single best poses a person can do. But just because it's a pose doesn't mean you're going to do it right. So there's lots of things that could go wrong in back dome. So I want you to think about all the things that we might have heard us say with squats and lunges and things with the legs. Those apply to back dome. But we also have things that apply to the arms in a very, very similar manner to the legs when you're doing a back dome. If you lack ankle flexion, you probably lack wrist flexion extension. You know, if your knees spin out, your elbows are going to probably spin out or in as well. And what we're trying to do is get center line of the hands, get the arms straight, and not have those elbows spin out like that, which in my eyes is the knees bowing out or something like that, or knees falling in, but have the hands, arms straight, and close the armpits like this. If you do that, and then you can get that full extension to the body, that's going to bring you great rewards and health for a longer term of your life. So how I like to do it is we're going to, again, test in back dome just to see how well a person can do it.
Now, back dome is not my best pose, and a couple of reasons. I'm hypermobile, so my elbows have a tendency to move all over the place, and I tend to pivot like right at the lower back. And there are a lot of people that actually have that collapse, that taco right in the lower back, even though they can get a really nice back dome.
So Jesse brings up a great point. Just because you can do back dome doesn't mean you're doing it well either. So generally there's Gumby people that are they've been putting their feet behind their head since they were a little kid. They'll probably be able to do back dome. And then there's people that are like really rigid, high-level athletes, bodybuilder stuff. They're generally tighter. Just because this person can go into it easy doesn't mean it's better than this person's, because this person has collapsed more than likely. So that's all Jesse's pointing out there. Because of her hyperextension in her elbows, she's more apt to go into collapse in certain areas, where this guy, who's tighter generally, is not going to collapse as much maybe, but they'll have a problem with the range in certain areas of the body. So both cases, you're trying to get them full range, but with strength as well. And so we'll show you that later on how to bring this person to full range, which is easier for them, but make them strong in the pose as well. Okay, so start in basically a supine bridge setup position, so your heels are close to your butt. But in this case, Jesse's going to take her hands overhead, fingertips near her shoulders, and you want forearms parallel as best as possible. Now from here, how I cue people how to get into it, and wherever a person gets to on this journey is wherever they go. If they can't lift their head off the ground, they don't lift their head off the ground. For step one, lift your hips off the ground. Okay, let's go back to step one. She went right into it. Step one, just lift your hips. That's a start. For most people, can't even do more than that. Step two is you're going to go onto the crown of your head by lifting your shoulders off the floor and go right onto the crown of your head. Again, you want the forearms parallel. Now, if they can do this properly, then step three, lift. Now for Jessie, quick things you're looking for. Are the legs straight, or how much bend is there? How much bend is in the elbows? And her elbows, as she even said, are spinning out. Okay, come on down. And also, I want to talk to her. Do you feel any pain in that? Do you feel collapse anywhere in your body?
Yeah, my lower back for sure.
Yeah, in her lower back. Because for Jessie, she used to have back pain. She doesn't anymore, but her thing is still, she'll lift her ribs up. And I do this as well, okay? I have more tightness in my hips, and to compensate that, I lift my ribs. And this is a common misalignment, and that's one of the things Jessie does. Jessie also, because of her hyperextended elbows, she has a tendency to let the elbows go out, all right? Her legs were square, but they weren't in full extension, so that's a little bit of tightness to the hips as well, okay? So we're just looking at these things. Now, what are we gonna do to open the body up? We're gonna take you through what we call the back dome sequence. This is a sequence that we made up a long time ago that Jesse's going to do each pose about 30 seconds. I'm gonna give her partner feedback. You can do this without partner feedback, but if you do it with partner feedback, you're gonna accelerate that change in the body. So first, do back dome. Second, we're gonna do what's called Sphinx pose. Third, we're gonna do supine bridge. Fourth, we're gonna go back to that back dome pose, and we should see a pretty significant change. So this pose is called Sphinx pose. And here, Jesse is laying legs together. You can put a yoga block between the legs. I can also just tell Jesse, squeeze your legs together, try and squeeze your ankles together. Now from here, her hands are flat and as parallel as possible. And what we want to do is really spread those hands. So spread pinky to thumb as much as you possibly can. Put the weight even across the balls of the palms of the hand. And now the hands are flat, the wrists are flat, the forearms are working down, and also work those elbows in. But as you're doing this, I want you to lengthen through the crown of your head and think of pulling your elbows towards your hips and pulling the chest forward as you lengthen through the crown of your head. Now, how you give feedback on this, I might put my hands on the inside of the elbows. This is really great here, one. I can also put my hands on the back of the elbows, and that forces her to pull back. And then I can also put my hand on the crown of her head. Which one do you like most, Jesse?
I like all of them.
Okay, so I might, one of my favorites is just sit here, pull here for a couple more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and I could feel her pulling her elbows back, because when you pull those elbows back, you're extending the spine and you're setting those shoulder blades back. And especially when you work those elbows in, you're also setting those shoulder blades back, because that's literally external rotation of the shoulder. And so both those feedback mechanisms set the shoulders in a better position. The more the shoulders are set in a solid position, the more openness you'll have and space for your back dome. Now we're going to supine bridge. Because I want her to get her hips in extension and also her shoulders, I'm gonna give her feedback in 2 different places. She might hold each one for 15 to 20 seconds. Okay, Jesse, she's set up, elbows at 90 degrees, heels near her butt. Okay, now drive your elbows and heels into the floor as you lift your hips. Beautiful. Now, I can give her feedback on her shins, but I know Jesse likes feedback more on the hips. So I'm gonna stand over her, put my hands on her hips, and she's gonna push into me. We're gonna work this one for about 15 to 20 seconds. Work your tailbone down, keep your belly braced, keep the upper arms working into the floor. Now keep this engagement, keep this lift. I'm gonna take the hands, put my palm against hers. Now remember, I'm not trying to straighten her arms out, but I also don't want her to do a bicep curl. This sets the shoulders back and down, which is what we want. So for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, now let them relax for just a few seconds. Shake it off for a couple seconds, and then she's gonna go into back dome again. Now we should see greater lift, more straightening of the legs, and then more closing of the armpits. Anytime you're ready, Jesse. Look, did you just see how quickly she lifted into it? You see how much more her legs are straight? Just a much greater lift into the pose. Excellent, Jesse. Come on down.
Yeah, that was much better.
Yeah.
Much
you could just
better.
see the confidence when she got into it and how quickly she lifted fully into the pose. Now, we did this while demonstrating for you. I wasn't even giving her a whole lot of feedback. I gave her about 20 seconds of good feedback. We can give more. I can give more in certain areas for sure. We could do rounds of this. We used to, at the gym, we used to do 2 to 3 rounds of this, and we would have insane changes in your back dome. So expect this to hit the back line of the body. Expect this to rotate those shoulder blades so they're rotated back and flatter on the back. Because why back dome is so hard for people is because the shoulders are rolled forward. That means the scapula are winging out or sliding out and forward. So what both these does, Sphinx sets the shoulder blades back, supine bridge sets the shoulder blades back. Both poses put the hips in extension. So all of this feeds into making a significant change in back dome. Do it 1 round minimum, 2 to 3 rounds if you want a lot of change. Okay, now you saw how we gave partner feedback. Now, if you don't have a partner, we're going to show you the same poses, but how to do feedback for your own Sphinx pose and supine bridge pose. So what I'm going to do here is I would use a cable with a door attachment. Jesse's going to hold this band. I'm using a flat band. You can use a round band, a power jumper that has padding on it. You're going to put it over the back of your neck like so. And then you're going to take your arms and put them on the insides of the band, okay, from here. And what I need is resistance on the back of my neck and my head, because this is what's going to help me to extend. So I'm going to come down here. I'm in Sphinx pose here, and it doesn't have to be a ton. All we're doing is getting that feel. So I do the same actions. I get my hands flat here. I work my elbows in so my forearms are working towards parallel, and I can feel this band here. So I want to resist and lift my head into it, work the elbows in, but also pull the elbows back against that resistance. And I'm going to hold this anywhere from 20 to 30 to 45 seconds. I'm pulling the elbows back. I'm lifting my head. I'm working my tailbone down as well. And I like to push my forearms into the floor, but also work the elbows in and always work them towards my hips. Good, and that's how you resist Sphinx pose. Next, I'm gonna go into supine bridge. So on this pose, I'm gonna put the band across my shins just like this. I'll put my hands through. You can put the band on your hands. You can also put it on your wrists like this. I like it on the wrist because then I can sort of turn my hands a little more. I get my heels next to my butt. I'm gonna push the shins forward, drive the back of my arms into the floor, and really pull against that band. Not trying to do a bicep curl. I'm trying to hold that resistance and push my shins forward and drive the elbows to shoulders flush to the ground. I'm also trying to turn the palms completely open towards my shoulders. So thinking lengthen through the crown of the head, shoulders are wide, drive the back of the arms and the heels into the floor. Hold it again for 20 to 45 seconds. And then come out of the pose, retest your back dome. And again, you should notice a significant change.